iba. The disbelief a cause of rejection. He accepted Muhammad, but he rejected to follow his religion. طيب. But the problem with this Jewish person, if he remained as a Jew while he's believing in Muhammad, he's carrying with him a book of the Jews. What does this book of the Jews contain? That Lot slept with his two daughters, that Sayyidina Yaqub alayhi salam, he was fighting with Allah and he defeated Allah, and he caught Allah by his leg, and Allah was saying to him, leave me, I want to go up to the sky again. How can such person say, I believe in Muhammad, but I remain as a Jew? And he's holding a book that contains these horrible kinds of beliefs. And among the things that this book contains, that also in the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 24, you know what it says? If you ever meet with a Jew, bow down with your face to the ground and lick the dust of his shoes. You should not take usury, riba, from your Israelite brother, but you may take riba from the non-Israelite. How come a person remains as a Jew and he follows these types of instructions? Because being a Jew, he has to follow a book. This Jewish religion, it has a book with it. So when a person says to me, I'm going to stay as a Jew, I believe in Muhammad, but I follow Judaism, that means he's following the religion with its book. It's not a matter of following to the religion without following its book. So how can we believe? How can we say that such person, he is okay and he'll be saved, as some people claim? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about al-munafiqeen. He said, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Allah is swearing by His personality, by His person, by His greatness, that they will not believe. He's talking about the Muslims, those who say we are Muslims. They will not believe until they seek the Prophet's judgment regarding the things in relation to the things that they dispute and disagree about. Any matter of disagreement, they should be seeking the Prophet's judgment. In another verse, أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِينَ يَزْعُمُونَ أَنَّهُمْ آمَنُوا بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ يريدون أن يتحاكموا إلى الطاغوت وقد أمروا أن يكفروا به. Allah said to His Prophet, do you see those who claim to be believing in Allah, believing in what have been revealed unto you and what have been revealed to those before you, they seek the judgment of Taghut, while they were ordered to disbelieve in it. So if you want to be a mu'min and your iman will be approved by Allah, you should disbelieve in any kind of judgment other than the judgment of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But this person is telling me, I am a Jew, I believe in Muhammad, but I remain myself as a Jew. That means he will be seeking the Jewish judgment and ruling and constitution. And how can such person be called Muslim? Or how can we say that he'll be saved at the day of judgment? This is nonsense. So don't forget these verses. إِنَّ الدِّينَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ الْإِسْلَامِ. This is one of the thawabit. Thawabit يعني unshaking kind of belief. The roots of belief that should not be shaken. Also, وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِي غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Whoever seeks for himself a religion other than Islam, it will not be accepted of him. And he'll be coming at the day of judgment as one of those losers. So Allah is saying, if you don't declare Islam for yourself, you're not going to be accepted by Allah, and you'll be one of those losers. How come such person comes and says, no, just be a Jew as you are, and you'll be saved? If you just say, I believe in Muhammad. Also, there's another problem with such person. He's giving loyalty to another religion. Wala, the matter of loyalty and dissociation, wala and bara, is also one of the most essential items of belief. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّهُمْ مِنْكُمْ فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ. Whoever give allegiance, loyalty to those, that means the non-Muslims, he is one of them. Anyone among you who gives loyalty to those, non-Muslims, so he'll be considered by Allah as being one of them. That means the person is praying, he's saying I'm Muslim, he's reading Quran, but he's giving loyalty to the non-Muslims. He's considered one of them. Even if he pray, even if he pray. Even if he fast Ramadan. Even if he keeps praying, reading the Quran, fasting, giving donations, it will not be accepted of him as long as he's considered by Allah that he belongs to them. If you give them your loyalty, you belong to them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala testified, witnessed, he had given a testimony contrary to the testimony that the hypocrites gave. Let's read Surah Al-Munafiqun. إِذَا جَاءَكَ الْمُنَافِقُونَ قَالُوا نَشْهَدُ إِنَّكَ لَرَسُولُ اللَّهِ. If the hypocrites came to you saying, we bear witness that you are the messenger of Allah, then Allah said, وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ إِنَّكَ لَرَسُولُ. And Allah knows that you are His messenger. وَاللَّهُ يَشْهَدُ إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ لَكَاذِبُونَ. But Allah also bear witness that the hypocrites are liars. They're saying, نَشْهَدُ إِنَّكَ لَرَسُولُ اللَّهِ. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَشْهَدُ أَنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ كَاذِبُونَ. And Allah witnesses that the hypocrites are liars. Tell me about their testimony. Was it accepted by Allah? The answer is no. It had not been accepted. We find these calls nowadays by those who have been influenced, stunned by this so-called Western civilization or etc. You want to be stunned? Big deal. Be my guest, my dear. But never say that a non-Muslim can remain as a non-Muslim, but only merely saying, I believe in Muhammad, and he'll be saved. No. In the deen, وَمَن يَبْتَغِي غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا, whoever seeks for himself religion other than the religion of Allah, it will not be accepted of him, and he will be at the Day of Judgment one of those losers. So this is one of the important matters of Aqeedah that people are trying today to liquidize it. To liquidize it. While it is a solid aspect among the aspects of doctrine nowadays. It's always been like that. I've never come across any scholar who said that there's a type of non-Muslims, if they believed in Muhammad and remained as non-Muslims, it will be accepted of them and they will be saved. I've never experienced people. I mean, what I heard today from that person is really surprising. Well, if you're talking about this man, yeah, this person has many other problems, not only this one, many. He was calling to change the mirath in the Quran, saying لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ. That was old because man used to be engaged in work, but now women are working more than man. So how can we say the man should be taking double share of women? Let's change it. And that's disbelief. That's kufr. He's insulting Muawiyah. He's insulting many companions of the Prophet ﷺ. He's saying that Abu Hurairah was a heavy-blooded person, that he was sticking to the house of the Prophet ﷺ just for food, pretending to be seeking some hadith from the Prophet, but in matter of fact, he wanted to fill his stomach. He has a lot of issues, not only one thing. He said the Prophet had never established a religious state. His state was civilian state, was not religious state. And he's calling for civilian state, yani secular state. And such person, I believe, is not Muslim. We can't bargain with him. We can't compromise. We can't give him some discounts of faith. No, we can't. It's not our religion. It's the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we were ordered to uphold it. Now, we've been ordered to uphold this religion strongly. فَخُذْهَا بِقُوَّةٍ يَا يَحْيَا خُذِ الْكِتَابَ بِقُوَّةٍ. Take the book strongly. Because we're surrounded by many pressures of fitna that may cause the person occasionally from time to time to give up this and give up that. One question I remember was given by an old woman to a Muslim. She said, if I die as Christian, will I go to hell? And I was shocked to hear him saying, you should not judge people. Oh my God. This is a verse in the Bible, in the Gospel, in the Injil, which have been fabricated. It's not the Injil of Isa. It says you should not judge people. No, we should judge people by the law of Allah. Because we can't judge people, but by the law of Allah, through the law of Allah, yes, we can judge. You can't say to the judge here, thou shalt not judge people. Well, why am I a judge then? Why a non-Muslim judge should judge people? While me as a Muslim, when I'm being asked this question, I say you should not judge people. I don't know what culture, what education, source of education this guy had adopted. Did he study in church? Temple? I don't know. This is not an Islamic education. This question was addressed to me before. And it was addressed to me here in the UK. So, how can I give an answer? The answer was so simple. I was asked this question by Christian people, and I said to them, tell me about people who lived at the time of Isa, Jesus, and they rejected him. They did not believe in him. Where should they go? Do you say they will go to hell or to heaven? The questioner said, no, hell. I said, thank you, I agree with you. Thank you, I agree with you. And we say about those who were contemporary, the Prophet Mohammed, or those who came after him, and they heard about his message and they refused it, that they deserve the same judgment that you gave about those who lived at the lifetime of Isa and they disbelieved in him. That was my question. That was my answer. As I said from the beginning, it doesn't mean that we should be harsh and blunt against people. No. I can sit down with a Jew, with a Christian. We can discuss, we can eat, there's no problem. There's no problem. We should not be isolating ourselves. But at the same time, if you learn your aqidah, that will help much on not liquidizing your belief. Because you'll be faced by people who will be similar to Abu Talib, who will be similar to Abu Daghina. Abu Daghina saw Abu Bakr packing his things, ready to leave Mecca. And he said, Abu Bakr, where are you going? He said, I was tortured and I was forbidden from worshipping my Lord. And the wide land of Allah, the land of Allah is so wide. And I'm going to find a place where I can worship my God peacefully. Abu Daghina is a kafir, but he has good character. He said, a person like you, Abu Bakr, should not go away, nor should be driven out. You are a generous person, whom we know, hosting the guests, feeding the poor, supporting the needies, helping on all aspects of righteousness and good conduct. Wallahi, you should not be driven out, and you're under my sponsorship. Get back to Mecca. What a nice person. But he's not a believer. He's a non-believer. So how many people we may be facing? And these kinds of people are also one of Allah's fitna unto us. So I should be maintaining your faith. Allah, yes, those people are nice, but Allah should be more beloved to you than anything else. And His religion should be more endeared to you than anything else. When you have this, you will learn how to be catching your faith, giving no compromise whatsoever. Wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Any question? You wanted to ask a question?
I was going to say, basically, the words Jew, Christian, and Sabian, are they words that, for example, you said how they came from Islam. So when the Quran, when Allah refers to them as Jews and Christians, is it because they are misguided, and that amongst them are people who are still upon the religion, still upon the millah?
As I said, brother, the word Yahud, it had been modified. Yani the concept of the word had been modified. It passed by many stages, but we find this according to the meanings found in the Quran, that those had returned to Allah, repented to Allah. Inna hudna ilayk. So those had repented to Allah. So this is an expression that describes a certain attitude with those people who are Muslims. So that's why we say, for example, the Jews say, you Muslims had taken the land of Palestine recently, 1,400 years ago. But before that, we used to be with Moses. So we are the real inhabitants of Palestine before you. We say to them, that is not true. Because those who used to be with Musa and they believed in him, they were Muslims like us. So the land at the time of Musa was with the Muslims. Did you get the point?
Yeah.
Does this cover the question?
Yeah. I just want to speak a little bit about the first people of the first followers of Isa alayhi salam before Paul, etc. All these and the things that he introduced. So like I was basically saying like they were obviously upon the millah. They're obviously people of Tawheed, and that eventually because of the fitna, they kept firm upon Tawheed, but then maybe the teachings got lost, so they fell into maybe bid'ah and stuff.
It's been always like that. It's been always like that.
So maybe I was thinking maybe the verses.
People used to be as one nation, and they separated after the death of their prophets, and they did not separate except after a knowledge had been given to them. They did not separate before, but after. So that's why in one of my debates I was asking someone, where did you get the word Christian? So I was asking him, was Christ Christian? So he said no, he was a Jew. So I said, so call yourself Jew. Why do you call yourself Christian? If Christ was a Jew, be a Jew. Then I said to him, what about Judaism? He said he belongs to Judaism. Where did it come from? They say it came from Judah. Now you can see the difference between what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us the source of this word, and how those people now they take this word, they believe the source of this word. They believe that the source of Judaism came from Judah, and that's all, which is not true. It came from a status, a circumstance that took place, and that is repenting to Allah, as Musa said, Inna hudna ilayk, returned in repentance to you. So the words sometimes they can take different meanings due to some twisting of the words that some deviant people do. Okay?
I want to ask you, who are Ahl al-Fitra?
Ahl al-Fitra are the people of, literally the word means people of period. And what is meant by that are those who live in a period of time where no people heard about any message. The message of the previous prophets have disappeared. So are those people excused or they're not excused? This is a long issue that requires a whole lecture about. But basically we say, we quote the hadith that there are 7 people that they will be having an excuse at the Day of Judgment by Allah. They will be having an excuse. And among them an old man that the prophethood of Mohammed ﷺ had come to him while he was an old man. A crazy person. One who used to be stoned by children because of lack of his thinking. There are many people like that. who will be having an excuse at the Day of Judgment. They will be another test for them, especially for them. And they'll be tested by Allah.
And disabled people, like children with Down syndrome and autism, are they still in the innocent stage, or like, well, what did the ulama say about them? Like children that are born and their mind's not there. And
yeah, the same thing. Just like
mentally disabled.
Mentally disabled, those who are crazy. I mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Those who are crazy, mentally disabled, they will follow the ruling of this case. They'll be excused by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there will be a test for them at the Day of Judgment. There will be a test for them at the Day of Judgment.
so it's only children that go straight to Jannah when they die.
Yes. The children of the kuffar are in Jannah. Inshallah, you'll be adopting them if you go to Jannah. طيب. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك.
جزاك الله خير.
حياكم الله بارك الله. يا الله يا ارحم الراحمين.